I like to read.
You like
I'm
to
a
read?
voracious reader.
Yeah.
If I like in school, we were always supposed to read like 20 books a year out of the library.
Mm,
I did 100. Little overachiever in certain things, but I like to read, and I like history, whether it's Roman, Circadian, Cretan, whatever it is. Ulysses, all of that stuff. Ate it up.
yeah.
And I didn't care what it was. I would read just history, one thing, and I'd be reading, Nobel Prize or whatever.
Is there a trick to retaining all that information? Because I find myself reading books and
You use it, you
you use
share
it.
it.
That's interesting.
It stays fresh in your mind
Hmm.
because you find people like the gentleman here that you want to dialogue about something, and it turns into a chat,
Sure.
turns into a friendship.
Hmm.
Okay, and that's the best part because you get to meet people without. He was in the street, yeah, and so was I. Am I any less? No. Am I more? Far more than others who have never been on the street.
Hmm.
So all of those things help to build a good level of character, a good level of confidence. I've really been fortunate enough that I had a very strong-willed mom. She was like a cream puff, but there was. I have a mental picture of her when we were living in Queens. It was winter season, and she had to take the subway to go down to Fifth Avenue to Trevi Fashions at the time. And I remember seeing her with her hair in a little scarf disappearing into the snow from all the swirls of the snow heading down to the subway. That has never left my mind. It's something that will carry you through anything and everything because you have that type of example.
It's beautiful.
And the rest is piece of cake. You run into different situations all across our lives. The question is, what do you want to do with the situation? Is it going to make your life better, or are you going to let it become worse? And I don't let any stupid situation make my life worse. But if you need me to talk to people, I'd be glad to. It's a lot of fun. You meet more people, you learn more.
Hmm.
Um, what else? I'm not a person that does well with you can't. You're too short. I'm 5'4". I played linebacker. When I was living in London, which I was there at the request of Her Majesty, you learn things. You learn things to do things because other people are worried about what people will think, people will say, or it can't be done, or oh no, never mind. Don't do it. It's okay. You're gonna hurt yourself.
Hmm.
Um, but it's fun to overcome doubts, self, and project it. Um, it's something that internally gives you a level of comfort, a level of experience, a level of being able to do whatever the hell I want to, no matter what. I've laid bricks, I've cut material, I've worked clinically on people, I've jumped out of airplanes. I learned what a British scrum is compared to our huddle.
Wait, what is
The-
that?
when you play rugby in England, you see the guys all get together.
Okay.
Okay, that's called the scrum.
Okay.
The scrum is only a slowed down way to gouge the other guy's eyes out, rip his nose out, kick him in the balls, break his kneecap, which we would never do in our regular huddle.
Mhm.
But in a scrum, it's open to anything, whoever, because you want that ball.
Sure.
So, and you will do whatever you need in order to get that ball. Oh, sorry, sorry about the elbow. Didn't mean to. Nothing personal.
You played rugby.
Oh yeah,
Oh, it's a badass sport, man.
it's shit. Oh, ache, pain. Oh, yeah, scars. Yes, yes, I have several of those. But again, I was in England because I had started a company here to do wound care. My mother was in an auto accident when there was no home health, none of that. She became a paraplegic. Okay. So I would end up taking care of her at night after going to school and then working. So you learn to survive. You learn to take care of your family and others. And you don't take a shit from anybody. Because there's nothing that you can't do, nothing I can't do. What, because I'm taller and you're shorter, whatever? That's a problem. For you, maybe. Not for me. And that's what freaks people. A lot of internal drive, a lot of internal self confidence, because I did not have other options. I did not have my father here. My father was a bum, so we left him behind in Colombia.
Mhm.
We came to the States. You do what you have to do, and you help people along the way that don't know better, are maybe scared or nervous or worried or just get tied up, literally tied up in their own I can't do.
Sounds like you have a lot of confidence. Where does that stem from?
From doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just look, I can't tell you the amount of times that I've been told you can't do that. Why? You're too short. Okay. What else? You're too heavy. Okay. What else? You're not from this country. Uh huh. Okay. What else? Perfect. Which at times is for other people who perhaps can't do any of those things, trying to keep me from doing them and them looking bad. Well, he did it and you can't. But you're a jock. You're a super jock here, and you can't do what this guy's my linebacker. So it depends on your mental attitude.
Hmm.
Depends on your confidence in yourself. Depends on using to your advantage the the doubts of the other person.
I'm trying to dig into what you're saying because I feel like a lot of people, especially now in this world that we live in, have
Yeah.
this victim mentality, and they fall into what other people say. You can't
Oh
do this
yeah,
because you're
and
not American. You can't do this because you're
it's
black. You can't do this
amazing,
because you're too
and they
short.
get beaten down.
You get beaten down. Yeah.
They get beaten down to things that are normally achievable. And they're like, oh, but no, the guy said, and he's this and he knows that. I said, and you know this and you know that too. So go do it. Um, yeah, really. Even
Was
if,
it your mom who instilled that in you?
oh yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah. My dad was a blank. So based on that genealogy, how could I let anything beat me down?
Yeah.
Um, there's always a way. The will is there. Is to put the will and the way together and do it. Um, and then people will be surprised.
You miss your mom?
She passed away a while back. She passed away when I was chief at Children's, not across from Jackson. And she passed away on the wing that we knew she had an esophageal varices that was bursting all the time. And unfortunately, it wasn't a pretty ending. and I was there.
So one of my biggest fears is losing my parents, man, because I mean, they made me who I am today, and I love them dearly.
I mean, look, you're blessed that you have both your parents and enjoy both of them. But when I lost my mom, I lost my world. And then here I am. Well, when I was how old was I? I was maybe 19, 20, 21, by myself in the United States. So I had to recreate things, start things, learn things. But she taught me. She taught me basically what to do in every situation. Don't take no for an answer. You're bigger, you're better, you're faster. If they can't handle it, that's their problem, not yours. And that's kept me alive through bad times, good times, wonderful times. I've done things that are way out of the rocket pile.
Yeah.
My life's been a series of chapters.
How old are you?
75. Just turned 75 a couple of weeks ago. I don't have time to get old.
Sounds like you've done a lot in your life, man.
I, I love this shit. I mean, to be honest with you, it's probably what keeps me alive. Meeting new people, facing new challenges, having a lot of self confidence, even when you're pooping your pants. Um, do not understand the word no and don't really believe in it because I don't have to. I don't have to listen to your no and take it as a gospel truth. If I can do this better than you, learn. If you can't, get the fuck out of the way. And if people are stupid or afraid or senseless, and understanding that there has to be another way out. This maze has to have a way out somewhere, somehow, back, forth, middle. May take a while, but there's another hole. Even if it's a hole, and not make the goddamn hole and get out. And that's what a lot of people in life at times are very much afraid of. Just what will he say? What do you care? Is it really important to you what he says? You need his approval to do something. You need to go to the bathroom, and he has to say go to the bathroom. I can be very frank when you push me to the other end of the extreme. I will fucking tell you what you think it is because it's the only way that I can at times get it to people. But if I'm this hard ass serious, you better be hard ass serious too, or else do not bother me. I got other things to do. But in the process, I've made some great friends in multiple countries. Um, you experience things that you got to see them to believe them.
With all these things that you have gone through in your life, it seems like you've had many accomplishments. What are you doing here right now?
Good question. And that's part of the problem. A couple of years ago, I had retired again. Okay. I had $40 million worth of real estate and a beautiful wife. Okay. And when the Obama administration, remember when we had the housing crisis? Well, I lose 40 million in a housing crisis. Okay. Your wife says to you one day, love is not enough. Fix the economic situation and all will return to normal. I said, really? See ya. At that time, I was living on Point Siena Island. Go check the prices on Point Siena Island. Okay, I had two penthouses, 424 and 430. 424 was my bachelor penthouse. Paid 145,000 for that place. When we had that depression in real estate, that's when I bought that. When it finally got sold, it went for 1,600,000. You take advantage of things. Okay. What am I doing here? Open heart. Kind of fucks you up real well. Sorry. Um, and then you get tired. You get mentally tired of mental and emotional abuse by people that you take care of, into the point that you say, you know what? Time for you to take care of yourself. Okay. So I ended up having the open heart because I needed to. I didn't know I had problems with an open heart. Two, let me tell you that I had a pneumonia. I had been a patient at Mercy Hospital simply because two of my docs lived there, well, worked there, lived there. And um, I just, I was in the hospital for about 7, 8 days, ran some blood work. I got discharged home. The day that I got home, I didn't really feel that great. I really didn't. And as a result, I said, you know what? Let me go back to the hospital. So I went back to Mercy, drove myself that night, got into the ER, and these two guys were waiting there, friends of mine, both, one's thoracic surgeon, the other one's internal medicine. I'm like, okay, what's the matter? He goes, I don't know, I just, my numbers. He goes, we saw some of your paperwork from when you were here. Some of your labs are a little wacky, etc. I said, wacky? You're a thoracic surgeon? You're calling it wacky? He goes, yes, it's wacky. I said, okay. Which means you want something. He goes, yeah. You need to have a cardiac cath done like tonight. Because I don't know how your heart is. When a surgeon tells you, I don't know how your heart is, you pay attention. I said, okay, let's go to bypass. Let's go, whatever. So we come back out. In the morning, I'm up in ICU, which is normal. And these two guys were sitting there. And I said, you know, I'm going to get you little stands like birds just sitting there at the end of my bed. This is getting ridiculous. He goes, Lewis, we've known you. I said, yeah. I've known you too. And I said, so what's the problem? He goes, well, let me put it this way. This is the thoracic surgeon. He says, your right artery, your right coronary artery is occluded 80%. Your left coronary artery is occluded 70%. Basically, if you had a heart attack right now, you'd be dead before you hit the floor. Oh, well, since you put it that way, well, what's the remedy? You're going for surgery tomorrow. I said, tomorrow? Don't you want to think about this? He goes, oh, no. Nobody's thinking. You're the first. You're the first one on the board. You're in at 6 a.m. 6 a.m. Woke up, alive, thankful, warm and toasty. Had a chest tube, had two other tubes in my stomach, drainage tubes. Went to ICU and CCU for about 10 days between one and the other. The tubes were pulled out 3 days later because I did so well doing what I had to do. Most people, oh, but it hurts. Ah. You're, it has to hurt. I need you to breathe deep. Breathe deep, breathe deep. This is when you really have to breathe deep because we have to open up those lungs again. We have to get that blood flowing through the arteries and veins back again. Remember, we did a little decoration in the inside of you. Yeah, so I ended up, this is one of your bypasses, came from here, about this big here, came out. And then scar. He says, but you'll be fine. Okay. I guess it comes down to dealing with things as they come along. Right now, I'm in a shit pile. Why? Because I lost a lot of money. And then you find that people really like you when you have a lot of money. Okay, that's fine. I don't need you. But you'll need me. Remember that. So I became homeless, sort of. And right now, I'm just getting better. Like last night, I was over at the hospital, and I said, "It's time to go home. Time to go home." But again, it's another life learning experience, no matter how you look at it. Okay, that this a lot of things are grossly misunderstood. Yeah, they are. But it's usually through lack of information, lack of understanding, lack of somebody going and sitting down and saying, "Hey, look, guys, this is what we got to do." You'd be surprised how little lack of communication is carried forth, especially the oral communication. Here's the tape. Listen to the tape. Here's the book. Here's the VDR. Here's this. Shit, spend 5 minutes with the guy. They don't. It's sad when you find out that people are into you for the money. Okay, that's a big wake up call. When people that can do refuse to do because they're used to being and want to be on the street, then you have a person with a good mind and a good idea. Example, the guy we just gave him a bottle of water. I told him, don't drink the water, okay, because you don't know where the lips were before. Now, he drank it either because he was really thirsty, he didn't care, okay, and there was not a lot of choices around. You don't see many people except yourself handing out water around here. So, desperation, immediate need, as opposed to long term need, dictates my action right now. I'd rather ask you for a second bottle. So, these are things that I don't understand. I really don't. I really don't understand.
Louis, what? It looks like you've lived a very accomplished life. 75 years. What is it that you're looking to accomplish now? What are your goals at 75?
Look, we're always looking for a lot of happiness, personal happiness with a family or things along those lines. That's always an ideal situation. But by the same token, I enjoy the idea of bringing light or clarity into situations that people can't. Not, I don't think I'm above average smarts. Maybe I'm more practical than others. Maybe I'm more inquisitive than others. And maybe I take the time to find a way to the solution. I'm a voracious reader. I will read whatever the fuck you want. Okay, which isn't really the trade for many people. They don't. They don't read. I do. I love to read. So you read and you listen, and that's what you end up doing. A lot of people don't. Okay. So what's my next menu? You know what? New York sounds good because I love this city. I know that I'm going to have at least two situations in New York already on the board. I have a trip going back to Vegas if I want to right now to do the military stand down there. Um, and I'll probably do both. Realistically, and being honest with myself, I will probably do both. A, it's fun. It is absolute fun. Um, can I get the money for it? Not a problem. Will I make money at it? Without a problem. Will I have fun doing it? Outstanding amount of fun. And I'll have people that I meet that I'll work with. I'll teach them, they'll teach me, and maybe they'll have their own ideas down the road. It's a matter of circumstances. It's a matter of creativity. It's a matter of paying attention to what you do. It's a matter of not taking no for an answer and having fun. I've had fun on every single one of my jobs. everyone. Here in Miami, with Moises Simpson, was the one of the best pediatric doctors here. We worked with him doing his ventilator camp. We have 15 kids that are on life support, hooked up to 100 feet of tubing, floating in the pool with a respiratory therapist standing next to them in the water, and they're happy. They're screaming, they're splashing, they're doing this. Like, really? You can't do that? How come I can't? Really? Hmm. Go ask Moises Simpson.
Luz, I really enjoyed this conversation, man.
Sorry to bore you.
Thank you so much for sitting down with me, man. I
My
appreciate
pleasure.
it.
No, it's a pleasure.